and good evening to those who are watching this. And to me, who will be editing this later. My sound settings keep scaring me, I swear. They keep blipping out for a second and coming back on. But that's why I have them up now. Yes, so it is Thursday. It is February 26th, and it's 9:16 p.m. 9:17 p.m. I'm doing something very unusual tonight. I'm stopping in the middle of a project when I have more than enough time left in the night. I'm currently editing log 32 right now, and that I'm cutting it down a little bit, but the raw footage is 40 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure by the time this is edited and posted, you guys will be aware of the length as well, but kind of forgot that, like, when a video is longer, it takes longer to edit. I know, crazy. And yeah, it's funny. I held every project to the same exact standard. Regardless of the length of the video, it's like, why is it not done now? No. I'm understanding that this will take longer. So most likely it will not get done in 1 hour session. I'm starting to be a little more rational with myself, and it's very nice. Along those same lines, I've noticed today that my to-do list does not feel aggressive anymore. I used to look at my list of tasks and it was like a tower looming over me. Every task was fighting for my attention. If I wasn't working on everything all the time, I'd lose them. They'd run away or something. Or I'd get in trouble, or I don't know. But today, I looked at my to-do list and it was like a council meeting. I was sitting down with my tasks and I was saying, okay, everyone, who's stepping up today? Not even that. It's like I had a nice metaphor this morning. It was like a palette. Different paints. And realistically, no, I will not get one thing done out of the 7 current projects in a day. Like, limiting myself to 3 projects a day has been very realistic. It feels limiting because I'm not letting myself set unrealistic expectations for myself anymore because I'm being realistic. And it feels like I'm not pushing myself to my full potential, but in reality, I'm giving myself exactly what I can do in a day. So I have all of the time and all of the energy I need for those tasks. It's totally efficient now, and it's wonderful, let me tell you. Even now, I found myself playing and experimenting a little more with editing when it's a shorter video. I have less content to cram, and I have more room to play. That's the thing. When you can't work, you're forced to play. Today was another somewhat work-heavy day, but I think we handled the time limits and stuff better than Tuesday. Still got a little wishy-washy near the end, but it was also because I ran into a friend, so like it kind of messed up my timing, but obviously friends are more important than work schedules, so obviously I took an hour and I talked with her. Totally worth it. But it was a little tricky picking it back up, and my class got canceled in the middle of the day, which was great. It was very nice, but my immediate thought was, oh, how do I fill that gap? Like, is it work? Is it rest? What am I supposed to do? And only for a little bit, though. Then I was like, okay, just some time to do whatever. And in terms of this work rest thing, I'm finding that there's a third element, a third scheduling thing, but it could also not be a third thing. It's my personal projects. Because I'm starting to get even more ideas now that I'm giving more space, more room for my creative imaginings. I want to animate this, or learn to play that song, or do studies of this or that. And it's so exciting, it's so inspiring. But that's one half of the deal. Now I have to make time for it so I can actually do it. And that part is still a little tricky. Because it kind of lines up with the other things I've realized I've been struggling with. It's importance. It's just personal. So does it hold the same weight as work for school or for clients? The clear answer is yes. But I haven't been seeing it that way. It goes rest, me time, whatever. Project, which is like some weird middle gray area. And then work for Instagram, classes, shows, clients, whatever. But like, the work for myself, my personal work, like, as long as it's not getting in the way of some direct deadline that day, I should be valuing my own stuff as much as everything else. Because I don't know. I'm important. Fulfilling my visions and my dreams is going to make me so much happier in the long run than doing a homework assignment. If anything, my personal projects should be higher than my classwork. So yeah, maybe if I try to just include all of my personal stuff in with the work stuff. Well, the thing is, there's one dividing thing, and it's deadlines. Would my personal projects feel more important, more similar, if I made up deadlines for myself? Or would that just stress me out more? I don't think so. Because the thing is, with the personal projects, sometimes I'm just overwhelmed with some wave of inspiration to animate a dancing apple, and I really want to do it. Do I stop my classwork to do it? I'm starting to think yes. Oh boy, okay, yes. So, moving on. For the most part, I do think today I handled it pretty well. I was really excited, however, to compile a 3D animation that I worked on for like 5 hours yesterday, which I didn't mention in the last log, but I'm not so happy with the fact that I worked on it for 5 hours straight. I mean, there was like a break in like a 15-minute break maybe to pick up food, but 5 hours is still a lot. And I was feeling the strain near the end. I was starting to make silly mistakes, and I was starting to become blind to my own piece. But I was really excited to do that today. I was like, oh man, I'm so excited. I'm gonna paint today. I'm gonna compile the animation today. And I was so excited at the beginning of today. And then it kind of just slipped through my fingers. It didn't really happen. And after my workout at 5, I was like sweaty and gross, and I didn't want to walk back to the art building to sit down in like an office chair and compile my videos, my images. So I skipped it. In that moment, I did not feel like doing that work. And is that betraying my morning self? I don't think so, because I know I'll be back on campus tomorrow morning. So it's less of a forgetting about it, more of a rescheduling. Postponing it to the morning because I know I will be doing it tomorrow. I think before, when I didn't do something after hyping it up to myself for so long, I just never went back to it because it just lost importance in my mind. That's the thing. I'm very wary about getting excited about things now. I used to be. I mean, getting excited about things is so fun. I mean, I got excited about hot chocolate, as one should, honestly. But I feel like there's a curse where anytime I get excited about something, it gets canceled or ruined, or it's stuff like I'm jaded, basically. You know, I mean, I'm still young, but I've lived a bit of life, and you know, I got disappointed a lot by a lot of people and a lot of things and stuff, so I'm a little wary about really putting faith in something that I don't totally have control over. And maybe I've been continuing that to myself. I don't know. But I am just motivated by the fact that I'm planning to go to bed early tonight. And I'm planning to wake up early tomorrow. Consistently. I mean, starting from Tuesday, it's Thursday. This has been about, well, it's 2 days now, but it's going to be 3 days with the prep I've set up here. And that's the longest I've really kept a promise to myself to wake up early. And that's so motivating. It's so inspiring. I never, ever would have thought to stop a project halfway through. Although really I was less than halfway through. Because I was in the middle of editing and it was going well. And it is kind of interesting listening to myself again. I feel like it really is helping just fast forward this whole process of growth as well, because I'm double reflecting. But I'm stopping a project to do nothing. To go to bed and to wake up in the morning. And to trust that I'll do it again tomorrow. I've never had this much trust in myself regarding a project. Ever, I think. Outside of hopeful wishes. So, yeah, already starting to feel like I'm some superhero version of myself. And it's hilarious too, because there was no big, massive change within a day. It was just stupid timers on my phone. What, like 3 taps of my finger, maybe? And it's just started rolling the boulder. It's cool, but it feels so silly how all of the changes were small. There was nothing huge or significant. There was no big, orchestral swell or anything. Just little things, noticing things. It's very cool. Oh, funny story, completely unrelated, but this morning, my class was virtual, right? I stayed up kinda late 2 nights ago. No, 3 nights ago. Before Tuesday. I guess it was Monday night, but anyway. I was feeling the effects of that this morning, so woke up at 7. Eyes closed again. Woke up at 8:38. However, my class was virtual, and it started at 8:30 today instead of 8. So I hopped on there as fast as I could, and you know what? Class barely started. It was so lucky. I just woke up on my own. I turned off my alarm, and I have no other alarm. It's just one. So I just thought that was funny. A very funny start to the day. Oh, one fun thing. I guess I am starting to take steps towards my dreams regarding music already. I mean, it's not really a reaching out to people step or like band tryout step, but it was, I play a lot of piano, and I play a lot of video game songs on piano. So the other day, I played the original songs as I played them on the piano, so I had my own little accompaniment, so it was like I was pretending I was in a band. And it was so much fun. Oh my gosh. I felt it when I was playing. I felt the whole rhythm, I felt the swing and the vibe. Ooh! It was very fun. So, just giving myself a little more energy in that area. It's very nice. And I still am, I'm singing so much more often. And yes, I talked to myself this morning, right? I kind of do that here and there. A little bit of an inner monologue gone outer. But I talked in a normal voice. Usually when I talk to myself, it's like some strained, whispery thing, kind of subconsciously, I guess. I just don't really use my full voice when I'm talking to myself out loud. But not this morning. No, this morning my voice was clear and normal volume. Yeah, no, I really want to make time for studies. And the comic. I drew 1 panel today. 1 panel. But a A panel is a panel. And you know what? I think if I didn't run into my friend, I probably would have gotten more done. No. See, I was doing that panel during my rest time. I was treating it as a doodle thing. But it's still a project. I still need time limits on my personal projects. Because that's not rest. Doodling could be rest. Because it does feel very meditative. And a lot of thoughts come up that I couldn't think of before. But that's a project. It's a fun project, I love it. But no, I think we're back to counting that as work. Oh man, the thing's jumping all over the place. But man, just when do I make a time for the classwork? When do I make time for the schoolwork? I guess it could be like I'm starting to think of a Punnett square. You have the recessive and the... What's the other word? Assertive? Wow, I'm totally blanking. I swear I knew this. But the recessive and the non-recessive genes. Or, you know, my passions, right? My projects are recessive. So if a classwork thing or a job thing needs to be done first, it immediately trumps. But if there's no classwork available, then work time turns into personal project time. But that sucks because I always have work to do. I always have job work to do. I think maybe I do have to have two different categories of work. Because there's always professional work to do. If anything, I'll just update my LinkedIn. Alright, well, we're figuring this out, but now it feels like I actually have room to try different things. I have more control over how I use my time. It's less of a, you know, fight or flight situation where I just have to be doing something all the time. I can sit and I can think and I can observe. And we can, you know, figure things out by ear. And this is very important to figure out in the long run because I know part of the reason why I'm so obsessed with figuring this out is because, well, this is my last semester in college. After this, I won't have any enforced time blocks. I won't have class times that I can schedule my personal stuff around. Like, I was talking about it a couple longs ago, but I used to think of my classes as breaks from my obsessive workaholic habits. My 3-hour studio classes were my rest times where I could hang out. Huh, man. So, I mean, I'm aware that once I graduate, those lovely even time blocks will be no longer, and it will just be me and my schedule. And if I graduated a semester earlier, I probably would have worked myself to sickness. Again, it happened last semester after finals. I got sick because I just would not rest ever. And I was proud of it. I was flexing. I was proud of the fact that after finals, my body was just, it hit such a shock that once that was over and there was such a sudden release of tension and stress, and I threw up. Simple as that, and I was proud of it. Then I still am a little bit now. We still got a little ways to go in that sense, but man. In a year or so, I'll see how destructive this really was. I'll see how concerned I should have been. Same thing with all the emotional stuff. We're still in the thick of things. I don't really have a solid perspective on how healthy or how unhealthy I am or was, because it all happened so recently. I'll understand in time. Right now, I'm just trying to give myself breaks, treat myself like a human, and on that note, I have plans to go to bed at 10. By that I mean get in bed, which is giving myself about 2 hours buffer to draw and write and do whatsoever I please, but I still want to play piano. Give myself 20 minutes for that. Maybe talk to my friends, my roommates, who I have not seen all day. Yeah, whatever. I'll do whatever. But I will say, for the most part today, I think I kept my head on straight. I like how today went. And I'm very excited for tomorrow. Yeah. Lovely then. On that note, good night.